Run Away With Me, Girl, Volume 1 Review. As romance manga has often taught us, first love is often doomed to fail. In Kodanshi's new debut, Run Away With Me, Girl, Volume 1, we find out what happens when two people are reunited as adults and still have a spark between them, despite the high school romance not working out. Now, in very different positions in life, where love finally prevail. Our story follows Maki, who attended an all-girls high school and was dating classmate Midori, until the two were happy with their relationship. When graduation rolled around, Midori suddenly asked to break up, saying that they were too old to be fooling around dating girls. The two didn't even stay friends, and Midori disappeared from Maki's life immediately afterwards. Now 10 years have passed, and Maki still thinks about Midori and the days they'd spent together with her friends and co-workers. They're thinking about getting married and settling down. They're also keen to see Maki consider marriage too, something she complains about her friend Komari, who also happens to know the full story about her and Midori. One day, Maki happens to run into Midori, who is excited to see her old friend and talks to her like they haven't been apart for a whole decade. However, when they might be able to talk like old times, Midori soon reveals that she's now engaged, which shows she moved on from Maki with no trouble while our protagonist stays rooted in the past. Midori is keen not to lose touch with Maki again, and they exchange numbers, with Midori quickly inviting Maki to her place so they can spend more time catching up. It's when Maki makes this trip to Midori's apartment that she quickly realizes things aren't as great as Midori's been making out. When her soon-to-be husband Tatsumi arrives home early for work and Maki has dinner with them, something about how he treats Midori sends alarm bells ringing. He's charming enough but makes pointed comments and shake Midori's self-confidence and belittle her. Maki can't help but have a bad feeling about their relationship, despite Midori's happy laughter and excuses for his behavior. Maki even begins to wonder if her former girlfriend will be happier if she just ran away from it all, preferably with Maki by her side. The first half of this volume is told from Maki's perspective, while the second half alternates between her, Midori, and Tatsumi should give us a better idea of what's going on here. Without going into specific details, I would say creator Batan has done a good job of fleshing each character out and her reasons for where they find themselves in the world. Although the mangaka has other times titles that are only named in Japanese. This is their English debut, and I think it's an excellent one to start with. Kodanshi's marketing has recommended this one for fans of how to be a relationship or even young were adults, an assessment I more or less agree with. While this is a romance series, it's not about the romance as much as a path each character walks on having to figure out their desires and identities. For example, while Midori may have to miss her relationship with Maki in high school as fooling around, it's clear that she wasn't repulsed by the idea of being gay or dating a woman. Even after reuniting with Maki, she's immediately touchy with her former lover. They hold hands regularly and even share a goodbye kiss at one point. She wishes to return to simpler lifetimes, and whether that's because she genuinely still has romantic feelings for Maki or is wishing for an escape from her present day problems is yet to be seen, but it's certainly a compelling part of the story either way. Maki meanwhile just wants what's best for Midori, but while everyone has been going about marriage, this reunion is proving a good distraction. She too can feel like she's back in the past, where the world sparkles simply because Midori was by her side. I confess Maki is the character I feel the sorriest for in all this since she'd be the one irreversibly hurt should be something happen to Midori, or if she get left by the wayside I forgot about like 10 years ago. So the story is a good one, but what about the artwork? I hear you ask. Well, Batan delivers in this department as well. While backgrounds are often quite simple or not used, Batan is good at depicting the emotions of the two main characters, both the ones that were openly expressing and thoughts left unsaid. There's not too much dialogue from page to page, so you give it the time to let the scene sink in and admire the art. That's something that works well in a series is emotionally charged as this one can be. As previously mentioned, Run Away With Me Girl Volume 1 comes out the West thanks to Kodansha, where it has been translated by Kevin Stenbach with lettering by Jennifer Scaropa. The translation reads well. There are helpful translation notes at the back of the book, and one which explains a line that loses a little bit of nuance in translation from Japanese to English, since it reveals around Tatsumi using ore instead of boko to refer to himself. Some things he's seemingly doing to be more assertive that the situation is difficulty in conveying in English. The series is complete in Japan with 4 volumes digitally and 3 in print. I think they just combined the last 2 volumes for print. Here in English, it looks like Kodansha are following the 3-volume approach, A volume is scheduled for release in February and number 3 following May. This release includes some color pages, but for some reason, they are the back of the book instead of the front as they act as a post read I suppose. Overall, Ride Away With Me Girl Volume 1 is off to an excellent start. This is a story about adult characters with adult problems, which is difficult to find in the manga market, let alone in the niche girls love genre. As long as you're okay with the heavier elements of the plot, like domestic abuse, this is a highly recommendable read. A free preview can be read at the publisher's website here. 9 out of 10.